Today we're talking about the Rossi R92. Beautiful stainless 20-inch lever gun right here that is a true beauty and really fun to shoot. How's it going, guys, and welcome to the Hopeful Homestead. My name is Chad and you're out here right now at my little campsite that I built right next to my tiny cabin on wheels that we've parked out here on our family property. That's a 21-acre piece of land here in South Florida that we're calling the Hopeful Homestead. But for today, we're reviewing the R92. This is my favorite rifle that I've ever owned. Rossi has a reputation of sometimes putting out, junk guns that are lemons, and they can also pump out some really nice guns too if you get a good one. Sort of like Heritage can be that way as well. This thing is certainly not a lemon. This thing is incredibly accurate, and it's been an absolute joy so far. And this is going to be a rifle that sticks with me for years to come out here on the homestead, because it's just such a great form factor that is reliable, and I trust it. I've shot it enough now to know that it's something I can count on. And with that 20-inch barrel and those really pronounced sights, you got that front beaded sight with the raised adjustable buckhorn sights on the back for the rear sights, and a nice big sight radius on that. This is like shooting fish in a barrel. I mean, from pistol range target, distance is nothing. Being that this is 45 Colt, I forgot to mention this is chambered in 45 Colt because I love to have lever guns and revolvers that share the same ammunition. Keeps things simple. But with 45 Colt, while that does pack a punch, that heavy bullet is going to have quite a bit of drop at a greater distance. So even though this is incredibly accurate at pistol range, distances and personal defense type distances, this is going to be, you have to adjust that rear sight quite a bit to be able to keep rounds on target from a greater distance for hunting and other applications like that. But for me, this is a rifle that I plan to use for just personal defense out here when I'm doing work. I keep this sitting up on the fence or, sitting in the side-by-side next to me as a way to be able to defend myself against any wildlife or two-legged threats that come up on me, from not so far distances. When I'm not trying to hunt or anything from a far away distance, this thing is incredibly accurate, and I like keeping the sights adjusted for that purpose of, 10, 20 yards, it being, a tack driver at that point where I can have full confidence that I'm going to hit the target, and I can actually choose what part of the target to put that 250 grain 45 Colt bullet through. That's the advantage of carrying this with you, something like this, when you're doing homestead work. I can take care of a wild boar that runs up on me. If I've got a second to grab this, I have no doubt I can put one right between its eyes with this thing. Whereas with my pistol, I might be able to get a round on target in a hasty situation, but it might not be an effective shot placement. Whereas if I've got a second, this sucker's going to take care of business with no problem. But before we head over and put some rounds through this thing and plink some steel, I'm going to do a close-up inspection of this and show you the features of it. All right, as you can see, you got that big old beautiful 45 caliber bore right there. That sucker's intimidating, ain't it? And you got a nice craftsmanship on this thing, man. I mean, look at the barrel bands on this are, really polished nicely. The barrel itself, the ammo tube underneath is really polished nicely. And you got that front sight that is adjustable as well. I forgot to mention that. That front sight is adjustable. You can drift it for windage. And it's got that gold bead that is very easy to see and get a good sight picture with, which is really nice. Moving on down the gun, you can see this furniture on here is a nice rosewood that is real hardwood, and it is very attractive, and it is nice to hold in the hand. You can see up close here the rear sights, how they're adjustable. They got that step stair system where you can adjust, drifting this center plate front and back will adjust how high those rear buckhorn sights will appear to you in your sight radius, which is pretty nice. I love rear buckhorn sights with a beaded front sight. It makes it incredibly easy to get a sight picture quickly and put rounds accurately on target. And as you can see here, this is a top ejecting lever gun. This is based on the Winchester 92 design for the action, and I personally enjoy that action for a lever gun better than anything else. Hence why this is called the Rossi R92. I enjoy that this lever is not very loose in its placement and in its action. It's a pretty stiff lever compared to a lot of other lever guns out there that, Henry and others that feel kind of flimsy, in my opinion. But you see you got your side loading gate there where you can put your rounds in. This thing does hold 10 rounds of 45 Colt in the tube, and it's easy to load through that. You can see you got your nice stainless steel butt plate with an almost mirror finish on that, which is also very nice to have. And it is one of those that has a rounded and more casual curvature to the butt plate, whereas some of these lever gun reproductions of the old West guns will have a real harsh, pointed, and more grooved butt plate, which I don't enjoy those as much. I enjoy this way more. But as you can see, it's got a really nice rounded stock on the bottom with a squared off top. You see that lever is really well polished as well. Very nice. Get a nice stainless trigger. Very good trigger on this as well. Very good trigger. This is just a great rifle. It's especially for the price, for the craftsmanship of this. You know, you get that mirror finish. You can check if you got anything in your teeth. It's just a beautiful gun. Absolutely beautiful gun. But all right, let's stop admiring this thing and actually put some rounds through it. Let's go over and shoot at some of the shooting targets now. But all right, we are here at the shooting targets now. We got the Rossi R92 right here, 20-inch stainless 45 Colt lever gun. Let's put some rounds through it and see how this thing shoots, which I already know is very accurate. We might get a little bit full of ourselves here today and walk back to that fence back there, which is probably a good 30-40 yards from these targets, and see if we can put some lead on those plates from that distance. Let's rack that first round into the chamber. Let's put this on target. All right, going for the big plate. Whew. No problem. Going for the next smallest plate. No problem. Next smallest plate. Oh, nearly knocked that sucker all the way over the top. Let's go for the smallest plate. Woo! Wrap that sucker around the top. All right, that was 4. There'll be one more here. Shoot at one of these flip back targets. Woo! Like I said, make short work of these little plates from 10 yards with the 20-inch barrel lever gun. So let's step back to the edge of the grass line there and see if we can reproduce that from that distance. Still got 5 rounds in here because, like I said, it's 10 round ammo capacity. All right, we are on the edge of the grass here. Let's rack one and go for that big plate again. No problem. Go for the next smallest plate. No problem. Love that smacking steel sound. No problem. Hey, wrap that one too. Go for the little guy again. 25 yards, 30 yards. Pretty windy. Starting to shake in the wind. No problem, baby. Let's go for a flip back target. Final shot from this distance. Oh yeah, no problem. No problem at all. All empty. Let's load this thing back up. Set this sucker right here for now. While we get this loaded back up, I think I'm just gonna put 5 in here. Go back and shoot 5 rounds from the fence. Because remember, 45 Colt, as fun as it is to shoot, it is over $1 a round. So we're gonna be sparing with it. All right, there's 5 rounds. I need to bring this guy because this is what my mic is attached to. I don't know if the mic would reach all the way, wirelessly all the way to the fence, so don't think the mic has a 30-40 yard range. This rifle does though, that's for sure. Ooh, the grass is pretty thick through here. Let's see. I think I'll set this guy down right around here. All right, let's see here. I'm gonna go for just the big plate from this distance. About 35-40 yards, somewhere in there. All right. Pretty windy now, so I'm gonna really lean into this one. No problem at all, fellas, no problem at all. One more time for the big plate. Short work, short work. Let's go in a kneeled position. Shoot through the weeds a little bit here. Boom. Last shot. Kind of hard to see the plate through the weeds. There we go. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Absolutely love this rifle, man. Love it. All right, that's gonna do it for this Rossi R92 review and range test. Thanks for watching. I appreciate every single one of you being here. And I read all your comments, all you guys who comment down there. I read every single one. I don't always get to respond to every single one, but I definitely read them. Again, my name is Chad and this is the Hopeful Homestead. And if you feel like sticking around, there's a video up here all about why I think you should still consider a lever gun in today's modern world. In a world of AR-15s and everything else you got to choose from out there, why you should consider a good old-fashioned lever gun in today's world. So go check that out and I'll see you over in that video. Thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it.